Hello and welcome to this Caspio training video series. My name is Joel, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to protect your web forms and report data pages with authentication tables. We'll also learn how to set up a password recovery system and stamp records using the authenticated information. In part 1 of this tutorial, we're going to focus on how to protect the search and report data page you created in an earlier video, as well as how to add a logout link. So let's get started. Once you log into Caspio, you're going to be on the home screen. The home screen has all of your applications that contain all of your tables, data pages, views, and that sort of thing. So we want to go into the contacts. Once in the contacts, we're going to go to tables and create a new authentication table. Basically what this does is holds the records for your authentication so that you can add a login screen to any data page you create. So first, we'll go with username and make this a unique field, so there can only be one of each in this table. And password. And we'll set that data type as password, so it shows up with asterisks. And we're also going to add an email and name fields. And these are important later when we add a password recovery link to the login. So now that those are done, we'll go ahead and save that. And we'll call it new auth table. Click finish. And there it is. So we'll go ahead and open it up and add our login information for this first user. And this user, we're going to use admin1234 as our username. And for the password, we'll go pass1234. Submit that. And the email, we'll go ahead and put test@mail.com. And the name is Caspio. So that's that. Now we have our first authenticated user in this table. So what we want to do next is head over to the Authentications tab. New Authentication. And from the authentication data source, we're going to choose our new auth table we just created. And then we're left with two options. We can either go with Express or Custom. Express is very simple. It automatically pulls the username and password fields we created in that table, and that's what will be used to log into whatever data page you decide to use this authentication table with. But if you wanted to go in and drill down a little bit more and have a little bit more control over your authentication, there's also a few more options here. You can go with just a Caspio data source, a Caspio and ID services, or an ID services only. So in this tutorial, we're going to stick with a Caspio data source. And from this screen, you can then change what you want your label to be for both username and password. We're going to go ahead and leave those. And you can also add header and footer areas. And by adding this, we can then have a little bit of code here that I can bring over. And we can add this. So we have a header that says member login and a little bit of instructions here. Please enter your login information. So now that that's done, go to the bottom here and create. New authentication, that seems like a good name. We'll go ahead and leave that. So before we leave here, we're going to go ahead and grab something we're going to use in just a few minutes. The logout link. Go ahead and copy that. And what this is going to do, this is actually going to create our logout link when users are done with the data page, they can then log out. So now that those are set up, we can actually go to the data page we want to authenticate or put a login for. In this tutorial, we'll use a data page that we created in a couple videos before. Go next, and on the second screen of the data page data source screen, we can then choose what authentication we want to use. So down here, we'll go ahead and click Restrict Access and Require Authentication. We'll use New Authentication. And that looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and move forward a little bit. This is the Configure Search fields. And this is what people are going to see before they search for all the records that we have. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and put our logout link into the footer of the search. Go ahead and paste that in. And it's just a simple href link with logout. So we'll go ahead and finish. And what was before looking like this, wide open to the public, is now secured. So we'll go ahead and put in our username and password we just created, admin1234, and the password would pass1234, and log in. And there we are. You're able to go ahead and search your records, and here's our logout link at the bottom. That concludes part 1 of this video series. Please continue on to part 2 to learn how to create a password recovery system. For additional videos and training material, please visit howto.caspio.com. Thanks for watching.